What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be replacing the turbo pedestal seals, and then we're also going to be replacing the exhaust manifold donuts. I'm gonna hop right into the video, and this will be how to take everything, disassemble everything off, and we will go from here. Hope you enjoy. I'm gonna try to video as much of this as I can for you guys, but the first thing you're gonna want to take off here is the intake. It will need to come off. I'm gonna unscrew it right from the turbo, and this is a little different than you know, if you've got your stock box, it may be a little different, but in the main it should be pretty simple. Right there is an 11. You'll have a plug somewhere that you'll need to take off, or it may just pull out. And then you've got a green airline right here that you'll need to pull out of the intake, and then this should pull right off. So you'll see that breather right there, that pulls out of here. See that? So that's one other thing you'll have to pull out, but it will just pull right out. We're gonna have to take this boost pipe off next, so it should be the same size, an 11, and then you can see right down here, same thing, size 11. Should slip right out like that. If you look down in here, you can see that my turbo pedestal is leaking, the seals down in there. I'm not sure if the camera catches it, but that's one of the things we're doing today, is that turbo pedestal. So the whole turbo is gonna have to come off. So we've got that off now. Okay, what I had to do is there was this bracket right here, and this plug here as well that plugged into the bottom. So I unplugged that, took off this bracket, because you'll need to pop this off anyways when you take the Y pipe out. So I popped that off, and then I moved this up around here, and that gave me enough room to wiggle out the charge pipe from this side. Next step for taking this pipe off is you're going to want to pull this nut off right here, and then you should be able to slide this off, and then there's a spacer, and then the other wire should slide right off. Okay. So it's like a nut, but it's attached to it. It's really weird. But then the spacer comes off, and then whoop, that pops right off like that. Really just loosen up these, and then on the other side, and then right here. So I have it off. It's 8mm. I've got this V-band pretty much off here. I'm just gonna loosen it up all the way, and then hopefully I can just slide it back, yep, right like that, onto the turbo. And then if I twist this, should be able to slide that up and out. Right after you take that off, go ahead and stick rags. I already did this in the intercooler piping, but go ahead and stick rags in the pipes that run to the the heads, because you don't want dirt, bolts, nuts, anything like that falling down in there. Every time you put a rag in, make sure you remember to take it out before you go putting things back together. I do like bright color rags just so I know that, hey, I'm not gonna forget it or not see it. Pull the V-band clamp off of the downpipe. There we go. We'll just, for right now, slide it on the downpipe. Go ahead and pull the turbo off now. So you do have another V-band clamp in the back. I'm gonna pull that off, and it should be an 11 millimeter, same as the other big V-band clamps. Okay, well, that back V-band clamp is a tough one. I got the back V-band clamp loosened up all the way. It's not wanting to come off of there. So what I'm gonna do now is, if you can see that bolt right there, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up the two turbo bolts. Those are a 15 millimeter, and I just took my breaker bar like this, and literally they popped right off. See that? So once you take those two 15 millimeter bolts out, then you will be able to pull the turbo off and then access the top of the pedestal seals. But don't put them in yet, because you'll want to take the pedestal completely off and do the seals on the bottom of the pedestal. Okay guys, so on that last back V-band clamp right there, it was stuck, so I had to grab this little hammer with a screwdriver and just kind of tap it, and then it sprung loose. So you can see the valley has oil, so it's been leaking. I can see the oil is leaking from the pedestal seal. I can see it. All right guys, the next step for getting the up pipe off, I'm under the truck. I've got one of the bolts out. It is a 13 millimeter nut on one end and a 10 mil on the other. I have new bolts, so I'm not worried about this, but the bottom side bolt up here, I could not get out. It's rusted pretty good, so I have the cutoff wheel. I'm just gonna cut the bottom of that bolt. All right, so this is pretty much what it happened. This part kind of stripped out, and I couldn't get it was rusted out. Or passenger side, I did get the bottom nut off. However, the top side of the up pipe bolt is rusted pretty good. I'm gonna try to get it through the frame to where I can hook like a impact onto it and maybe just zap it out that way. That's what I'm hoping for. All right guys, well, I'm now taking the pedestal off. I'm working on the last up pipe bolt. The head was rusted and stripped, and it was too tight to get a grinder wheel or anything like that in there, so I've just been having to chip away at it slowly, just trying stuff, and I think I'll finally get it. Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. If you can see, it's the top one there. Anyways, I am getting ready to try one last thing with that. If that doesn't work, I'm going to probably pull the exhaust off, the downpipe completely off. There's actually 4 10 millimeter bolts right on the corner, so that's that. Once the pedestal is out, Be careful with this surface. You'll want this, you'll want to clean it, but you won't want to bang it up, because that is the mating surface for the return and feed of the oil. And this right here, these are the seals in this package here. There's a big one and a small one. Those ones, you'll pop these old ones out. Pretty self-explanatory. Put the new ones in. Back right there, there's 2 more that you'll need to take out and replace as well. What is up? It is the next morning. I stayed up till 4 a.m. last night trying to get some bolts off of the exhaust manifold. Okay, so they stripped out, one of them stripped out, and it was on the far side, passenger side, and my exhaust, I was gonna take my exhaust off. Anyways, it was rusted on pretty well to like the hangers, and I was just gonna pull some sections of it out. No go, would not budge. So I had to do this with the downpipe in place, or else this probably would have been a lot easier. But I did end up getting it out. I tried a couple different methods of welding blindly. That did not work. Eventually, where is it? It may still be under the truck. Eventually, I was able to pull, get my little air cut-off wheel, and I just cut the bolt eventually after way too long. Anyways, I got that off. So on, that is your next step. Once you pull that off, anyways, these 3 of these stripped off, and they stripped off with some decent length. However, when I welded some nuts onto the end like this, trick is sticking the nut over the end, then welding it. Well, this is very soft. It's not steel. Okay, I tried drilling and using some of those, yeah, not working. I found this tap and die set, anyways, I used this drill bit. These are very nice drill bits. They come with the kit. I had the kit in one of my shelves. Anyways, I drilled it out, and sure enough, I was able to extract the little piece of bolt out that was left in the threads. Well, somehow I pulled a miracle out of my hat. I got them extracted. Some of them aren't pretty, but they will do the job. There's no gasket that runs in between the manifold and the up pipe. I thought there was, but there isn't. So literally you just put the flanged end up there, and then I'm gonna put some anti-seize on these threads, and I'm gonna tighten them up, but not get them super tight, just snugged, so I can still manipulate the up pipe around. Right here, from the top side, we do have the up pipes in position. Still have a little bit of freedom in there, but now we can go ahead and hopefully slide these on. Perfect. So we've got them loosely on here. We're still gonna need to tighten these down completely, but we'll have to wait to do that until we get the turbo on, and then make sure that we get this seated correctly. We'll go ahead and stick on the turbo pedestal. Make sure that the surfaces are all clean. Go ahead and stick your front pedestal bolts on first. That way it already aligns the back ones, so it'll be easier. That is all tightened down, and now we can clean this up a little bit. V-band for your downpipe and stick it on. That way you're not fighting it later on. Stick your seals on there like so, and make sure that you clean the bottom side of your turbo downpipe. So we've got the turbo on there. Then you're gonna stick your 2 bolts in here. All right, so we have the turbo bolted on loosely. The next step is to really, we need to get this up pipe connected to the back of the turbo. It has got to mate up with the turbo. Okay guys, I've got the back clamp on. There's no easy way to do this, really. It's just you gotta keep persistent at it and you will get it. Slide the V-band clamp on the up pipe, the Y pipe side, then put your turbo down, and then once you manipulate the up pipes to the correct angle where they, you know, the turbo and the Y pipe connect and are no leaks, then you just pop the V-band clamp around it and then tighten it down. So I've got it loosely tightened. Right now I'm tightening the 15mm bolt. Okay, turbo's tightened down nice and tight here, and we've got our V-band clamp to the Y pipe completely tightened down as well. If you can see back there or not. Now we need to tighten up the up pipes, but I'm gonna tighten them up from the bottom first and get the manifold ones tight. Then I'll come back and we'll get the top ones tight. Alright guys, one little tip. When you're doing the up pipe to Y pipe bolts, tightening them down, using a couple long extensions and coming from the bottom of the truck up, you can reach the 2 bolts that are right behind the turbo there. So I did it on the driver's side. Now we just got to hop over to the passenger side. All right guys, one last tip for this. You can fit your 10mm with extension up through your wheel well, right through here. And with the down pipe loose, don't tighten it down yet, you will be able to reach those back bolts and pop them on, get them nice and snug down. So it was actually a lot easier than I thought doing it that way, you know, with that. So, you know, super stoked. It was a job. If you're not mechanically inclined at all, or you don't have patience, don't even attempt this. I just finished putting the turbo, the up pipe, and all that back on, and the up pipes are all tightened down. Everything is tightened down. and ready to go. So now the next step, I'm gonna stick the once you get the up pipes on, go ahead and put your down pipe on deep socket 11. All the V bands from now on out are gonna be size 11. Alrighty, so we've got the down pipe put on. Your next step will be putting on your spider pipe, which goes right here. So don't forget you have a seal that goes in here. Alright guys, go ahead and pull your rags out of your intakes there. You can pop your pipes on here like so. There we go. Okay, that's better. So when you go to put this spider pipe in, start with the passenger side, then roll it over. It will go a lot better that way. We'll slide this on. All right. Perfect. So that's on there nice. If you look at the gap here, there should be just a little bit of a gap, and that's how you know it's seated correctly. So that's normal. All right guys, the whole process took me 3 days with my regular work and working on this, and having some issues with stripped out bolts on the exhaust side of things. It just took a little longer than, you know, probably should have, but anyways, this is where we're at. We're all tied up now. Got everything put back together. Remember when you put your boost pipes back on, to remove your rags that went in the intercooler piping. That'll wrap up this series and this video for sure. Thanks for watching. If you found any of this helpful, you know, give it a thumbs up or a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Or share the channel, whatever. But I will catch you guys in the next upload. I'm out.